Money from?
So that is the problem. Currently, it's individuals who are interested, Ghanaians, well-meaning Ghanaians who are supporting and donating funds for it to for the police service to be able to embark on these activities, and that alone is not sustainable. You see, so as and when they get funds from somebody, they move to an area and they effect arrest, and sometimes they use internal funds as well to combat this, per my information I have. And so it makes it difficult. It's not sustainable. And so we are waiting for the lands ministry to take the NIMOs into action, also to support, because we cannot take out the police effort and say that we have centralized it, so the police should stop now fighting illegal mining. No, we need everybody on board.
Now, again, with that out of the way, you mentioned that within a week they've been able to arrest some 87 people. Are they all Ghanaians, or were some Chinese in there? And upon the arrest, what has happened to these people? Are they being prosecuted? What has happened to the equipments that were seized? How many equipments have been seized? Can you furnish us with that information?
Well, so the 87 that were arrested, we have some of them, at least 5 of them were Chinese. We had some of them, about 17 of them were also Burkina-based, and we had Togolese as well. Especially those who were arrested on the Ankubra, quite a number of them are Burkina-based, and it tells you the kind of regional intrusion into this whole Galamsey fight. Your other question was about, help me with it.
The prosecution bit, the machines have ceased. What has happened to all of it?
Yes. So I do know also that so far the police have seized more than 100, a little over 100 excavators now parked inside Akunta Mining's premises in Samreboy. And these were excavators that were seized from forest reserves. They were mining in forest reserves. If you look at the number, it's so huge. Others have been seized in certain areas, parked at district assemblies across the country. I am learning, and I'm still gathering that information. I've asked the Public Affairs Department to help me, furnish me with prosecutions so far. I know that some of them are facing court. Some of them have been to court. They've been remanded into police custody, and they are still doing their investigations and going to court. I need to get a number to that, and I have requested. I'm yet to get the figure. Once I get the figure, you will also know. And so that is what is happening on the police front.
Again, in the police front, where they conduct investigations and they question people, over time we've had concerns where we want the kingpins, the main financiers behind the Galamsey activities, to be arrested. Any information on that?
When you say kingpins, I've got that question from my social media pages quite a lot. When you say kingpin, what's your definition of kingpin?
The main financiers, the people who can afford the purchase of the earth-moving equipment, the excavators and all that.
Well, so per my knowledge on the field, this is what I know. You can get a Chinese national on the field. He may be the kingpin. He may be the bankroller who have all the money. He is the one who brought the excavator, and he's the one who is mining. Many of the Chinese people are like that. And then we have the other Ghanaians who are also mining. Some of the Ghanaians arrested on the field are the ones who directly own the site. Aside that, we have big personalities who support them in terms of, if you are arrested, I have power and I'm going to support you with that. If those are the campaigns you are referring to. These are faceless individuals. For example, we have constituency party chairmen. We have MPs who support these people. When somebody goes in to arrest them, these are the people who come forward to say that I release them, or to tell the police to release them and all that, who vouch for them. Aside that, many of the Galamseyers, the kingpins, the bankrollers are on the field. The Chinese people mostly are the ones who bring the excavators, the equipment, and the money. And so I will not go for the point to say that once you see somebody on the field and you think he's not the kingpin, don't arrest him. No, all of them are culprits. we should arrest every person we meet engaged in an illegality. So but you don't say that you do not know, and so you are on the field and you are not the person responsible. No, if you are engaged in the activity, it makes you a criminal and you should be arrested. But as we go forward, I agree with you that those who will be found to be conniving with these people on the ground, the politicians behind some of these things, if there's evidence leading to them, why not? They should be arrested and brought to book. But most of the time, you will never find them on the field. The ones who you find on the field are the Chinese and their Ghanaian collaborators. And I think that when you arrest them and you start investigations and they reveal the other people behind them, and I think the IGP is minded to do that.
Yeah, Erastus, I was going to ask a question, but it looks like you have partly answered it. My question is, those landowners who stay in Kumasi in the cities, who gives the land to the Chinese people? It looks like any time that we arrest the Chinese guys, we don't see these people also being arrested.
The explanation I've gotten for that is that you don't just arrest somebody because you think he might be behind something. You must get evidence that you will use in court to prosecute them. And mostly, Leo, you've been on the field and you know that mostly you will never link many of these people to the crime being committed on the ground. And I've had that experience myself. I have been sued just because I mentioned the names of the people who were behind a certain mining company. And when we did our checks, aside the evidence I have, which I have searched very hard to find, you will never find their names on any document concerning the mining activity that is going on the ground. But your experience and investigations will tell you these are the real owners of that particular site. And so it will be difficult to arrest them and get evidence to link them to that particular site.
Erastus, difficult, but not impossible. So what are we doing about that?
Not impossible at all.
So what are we doing about that?
That is why I said that for Akonta Mining, for example, the directors of the company have been arrested. Those are the kingpins who control the affairs of Akonta Mining and the illegalities that were committed in Samra Boy. Chemaun to me has been arrested. I understand that some of his directors recently have also been arrested. That is a good sign. Why? Because they have evidence that will link them to the crime. For others too, I know that some of them have been arrested as well, especially in the Western North region. Some of them have been arrested, especially the Chinese who were arrested recently. Some of them have pointed to certain individuals who, are their collaborators and all that. But I am talking about the difficulty. Sometimes myself, I know certain key personalities who are politicians who are behind certain mining expeditions. But when you arrest the people on the ground, aside them popping up sometimes to claim ownership of the equipment you see so that you'll be able to grab them, it's difficult linking them to some of these crimes. But I will still encourage the security agencies that this is what you promised Ghanaians and this is what you must deliver. They said that they know the kingpins, so let's arrest them. And it is sad also to note that, David, even as we talk about this thing, the previous people in the previous administration who invaded our forest reserves, some of them are still working on the ground. And we have pointed the lands minister to do all those. And we are expecting that action will be taken.
Indeed, and although you've pointed it out to the lands minister, here you are telling us that they have not shown up in several weeks.